Hello there. My name is Wilson Mutua, coming to you from Grace Impact Center, where I pastor. Now, I want to focus on mega trends. Mega trends are powerful socio-economic forces that are impacting our lives in a number of ways. These are manifesting themselves through environment, economically, and even demographically, technologically, and socially, name it. And they are very powerful because all of us can feel the impact, especially environmental issues of global warming. But allow me to highlight on demographic trend. This one is actually a making of the various governments in the earth, where governments in various places are encouraging people to move from the urban centers to the rural areas. And this is actually against the grain of the normal flow of life, where normally you see people move from the rural areas to the urban areas in search for greener pastures. But what the governments are doing, like Japan, currently in 2023, they declared that whoever is willing to move from Tokyo to go and settle in those neglected rural areas, each family, each child in every family that is willing will receive 1 million Japanese yen, 1 million. And once you move, you have to be there for not less than 5 years. And if you break that contract, then you have to refund the money to the government. This is just encouraging migration of population from Tokyo to the rural areas in Japan, just to ease congestion in Tokyo, and also to inject new life in these neglected rural areas where actually the families are dying. You know, some communities are becoming extinct in these rural neighborhoods, and they are trying also to inject entrepreneurial skills in these neighborhoods by giving these incentives with strings attached, or with these of course terms and conditions applying that if you break the contract, if you leave the rural areas before the 5 years period is over, you have to refund the money back to the government. We have other countries like Ireland. They moved 68,000 of their government workers to those rural areas where they want to inject new life and freshness. And we have also Spain. Switzerland has also followed the same. Italy is actually giving people money to buy houses in those rural areas that have been neglected, to set up residency there. And what we see is that the various governments in the world are doing that. In America, they have these Zoom towns where people work remotely, and especially during the COVID-19, away from the big towns. And in these neighborhoods, rent has also gone up as a result of this influx of these remote workers. And statistics show that in 2018, we had that 8% of the Americans who are willing to move into the small towns. And that figure shot to 48% by 2020. You can see this is a very significant increase in terms of those people who are willing to shift from the big towns to the small towns. And even here in Kenya, we have the devolution, which actually encourages resources to be shifted from the national government to the county government. And as a result of this, economic activities have come up, creating employment opportunities for many people through businesses, employment that are coming up, and people are shifting, especially the young people, the young entrepreneurs. They are setting up business at the county levels, and that is something that has happened as a result of constitutional change. Our government is also has invested a lot of infrastructure development, especially the previous government. They have built roads in those rural areas, and they are opening up these rural areas, and they are making it very easy to access them and even to settle there. That you can work in a place 50 kilometers away from your workstation and manage to get to work in good time because of infrastructural development and things like that. And I believe they are working on it, and then this current government, I believe, will also continue to do it. So government all over the world, they are trying to encourage migration of population from the urban to the rural areas. And as an entrepreneur, you can take advantage of this. Then what do we see in this demographic trend? But of course, there are other trends that I mentioned there earlier in my previous communication, that these other mega trends, they manifest in the area of environment, economic, social, and in other ways. But this one demographic trend is actually heavily impacting on us, and we have to really take advantage of that. It may have its own shortcomings and doings, but also as entrepreneurs, we can leverage on the advantages therein, because there are opportunities therein. And one of the opportunities that we see is that there will be increase of people, especially the pensioners, wanting to settle in these areas. People wanting to buy land and settle as their retirement homes. Even people migrating from low income to higher income, and especially in the diaspora, through their remittances, they may want to settle in these rural areas that are coming up. They put up holiday homes. Even companies may want to go there and put up factories there to take advantage of emerging markets, and even labor markets or cheap labor there, and even land banking. People may want to buy land and speculate as a result of that, because currently in most rural areas, land is relatively affordable, is quite cheap, and so investors would want to go there and put their money there in speculation or in anticipation that land prices will increase. So if you want to get more on this, you can call me on 0720 30 7755, 0720 30 7755. Shalom.